The subject of our week and our program today particularly is the Soma. And Soma is one of these very special, mystical, spiritual, esoteric, and universal subjects. It pervades the whole of the yoga, the Ayurveda, and the Jyotish. And it may be something that is not so known to all of you, but it has tremendous meaning and importance, both at a practical level and also at a greater spiritual level. And so we're going to explore some of that. It's something that we can only touch upon, because it is such a vast and profound subject. The book I did on the Soma is about 400 pages long, and it covers quite a few topics, from food and herbs to all aspects of the yoga and meditation. And it hopefully provides another view on how the universe works, and also on how your mind and how your entire nature works. So it's a wonderful topic. It is going to be mainly from the yoga and Ayurvedic standpoint, not so specifically from the Jyotish standpoint, but from the Jyotish standpoint, Soma is also the moon. Soma is the moon, and the Soma is dispensed via the nakshatras, and the Soma is, on the Jyotish level, dispensed with the waxing and the waning of the moon. It is said that the gods fill up the Soma cup with the waxing moon, and they drink the Soma cup with the waning moon. And the Soma colors all the 27 nakshatras and 12 signs through which it passes. And each of the signs has a certain Soma quality. And of these, the Orion constellation, the Mrigashira nakshatra, is the nakshatra specifically of the Soma, marking the northern sky and the point opposite the galactic center. But each of the planets is a cup of Soma. They fill when they move away from the sun. They drain when they approach the sun. And the somatic qualities of the inner planets is stronger. Mercury and Venus, because they get much more brighter, they wax and wane like the moon. If you get a telescope out and look at the Venus, it looks just like the moon. But when it's furthest away from the sun, it is not full. It is only partially full. Interesting phenomenon. But even the outer planets wax and wane relative to their distance from the sun. Closer to the sun they become combust, and they have their most Soma or higher quality when they're most distant from the sun, which is also the point of retrograde. So I may discuss a little bit more about the Jyotish and the Soma, but I want to go into the more yogic and Ayurvedic aspects of the Soma. And the first thing to realize is, for every Agni there is a Soma. Soma and Agni are the divine couple, the divine twin, the male and the female the yin and the yang, we might say, of the Vedic and the yogic sciences. And I think most of you, particularly those of you who study the Ayurveda, are more studying the Agni. You're familiar with the Jatra Agni, the digestive fire. You're familiar with the Dhatu Agnis, the Agnis of the tissues. You're familiar with the Bhutagnis, the Agnis of the elements. And to some extent you're familiar with the Prana Agni, or the Agni of the Prana. But each Agni has its Soma, and just as Agni is broadly associated with the Pitta dosha, Soma is broadly associated with the Kapha dosha. But these are just the Ayurvedic or biological aspects. The Agni and Soma also have deeper cosmic aspects and aspects in the subtle body. Agni is light. Soma is the nourishing power that is inherent in light, or we say Agni is fire, and Soma is water as cosmic elements. And at the highest level, Agni is the fire of consciousness, the Chidagni, and Soma is the Ananda, or bliss, which is the nurturing or nutritive aspect of the consciousness. So everything in the universe is Agni, Soma. This is the Vedic view. In the Vedic offerings or worship, we make offerings into the fire. And of the offerings, the highest offering is the Soma. But in fact, every offering is a kind of Soma. So the entire universe is the play of Agni and Soma, or Apis, water, and Jyoti, light. It's interesting, light is water and water is light. And we see this phenomenon with the rain. The sun draws up the moisture from the earth and it rains it down from the sky. So that light and water are one, or the light has a nurturing or somatic quality that goes along with it. And it's also expressed as the ghee, and also as the madhu or the honey. And the waters, the somas, are also the waters of space which carry the light. So just as there is a lightning or Shakti inherent in space, there is also a Soma or water inherent in space. Agni is the eater and Soma is the food. And we see that most basically on the physical level with the digestive fire and the food that we take in through the mouth. But this happens on all the levels of the universe. There is a nutritive quality inherent in everything. Our sensory perceptions have their potential Soma. In fact, a lot of our what we call somatic experience is through the senses. And ultimately, there is power or quality of bliss or Ananda that pervades everything. Agni is the seer, Purusha, Chaitanya, consciousness, principle, and everything that it sees is Ananda. Everything for Agni, everything is the Soma. So there are Somas that approach us and pervade us at all levels, and as human beings, we're only trained to access some of these Somas. Most basic Soma we have is the food that we eat, which is the Soma, or the Jataragni, or the digestive fire. But there are Somas for all the koshas, The prana also has its Soma, which is the breath, the air that we take in from the environment, and not only the oxygen, but the prana, the vital energy that comes through it. The Manomaya Kosha has its Soma, which are the tanmatras, or the sensory impressions, the sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell, which constitute the subtle elements, or the food for the mind. And these are extremely important forms of the Soma. The Vijnanamaya Kosha, or the Buddhi, the higher intelligence, has knowledge, vidya, dharma, as its food, or avidya, or adharma, if that kosha is not primarily developed in a sattvic way. And of course, the Anandamaya kosha tells you what its food is. It is Ananda, which is the depth of experience, or the Soma that we gather from life. The soul, the Jivatma, is like a bee, gathering the pollen from the flowers and making the honey out of it. The flowers are various experiences in life, and the Soma is the Ananda Maya Kosha. But for many of us, or for mostly in human life, it's a dukkha maya kosha. It's a kosha made up of sorrow rather than the higher bliss or divine love, because we're only accessing the tamasic or the rajasic aspect of experience, not the sattvic aspect. And yet we should understand that Ananda is not bliss. Bliss is a translation. Ananda is the higher power of feeling born of Shanti, or peace. And it is the power of direct experience, so that there is a rasa. Soma also means a rasa, which means the juice, an essence, an energy, or a delight. There is a rasa in all experience, and one of the ways we also understand Soma is through the artistic realm. There's a certain rasa, there's a certain essence that you get, whether it's through a beautiful painting or a beautiful piece of music that you hear. There is the tanmatra, there is the subtle essence that comes forth. And that rasa can be very powerful even in a tragedy. Sometimes a tragedy has a greater rasa than a comedy. So the rasa is the power of the full experience, not simply feeling good. Every emotional high is followed by an emotional low. Another definition we have through the yoga of the Soma is samadhi. Soma is samadhi. Soma is the flow of the mind in the state of samadhi, which is a flow of ananda, peace, well-being, joy, happiness. So in that regard, Soma is the ultimate goal of the yoga practice as well. But just like everything in life, there are tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic forms. For example, if we talk about faith or shraddha, there are tamasic and rajasic forms of faith also. Blind faith, there are faiths that can confuse and deceive and delude us. So there's also different types of samadhis. There are tamasic and rajasic forms of samadhi. In fact, in the Yoga Sutras, Vyasa, the main commentator on it, says that samadhi is a quality of all the states of the mind, all the chitta bhumis. And he says that as the yoga only pursues the higher states of the samadhi, of the ekagra, the one point in mind, and the niruddha, or the merged state of mind. But the vikshipta, kshipta, and buddha states of the mind also have their samadhis, and these are things that we're very much involved with in our ordinary life. These are the samadhis born of intoxication, drugs, sleep, sensory enjoyment, activity, even certain samadhis born of art or the philosophical mind. These are states in which the mind is able to merge into a certain inner experience, and we lose ourselves. These are also states of Soma and the flow of Soma. And so Soma exists at all the different levels. We have physiological Somas. The Kapha dosha, essence of Kapha dosha, as you know, is the Ojas. But the essence of the Ojas is the Soma. And also the Ojas is the Soma, and the Ojas are very much connected to the subdoshas of the Kapha dosha. Tarpa Kapha, which governs the brain, the Bodha Kapha, which governs the sense of taste. These two are very much involved with the Soma, but also the Avalamba Kapha, which nurtures the heart, the Kleda Kapha, which nurtures the food and the digestive process, and the Shlesha Kapha, which lubricates and nourishes the joints. These are all connected to Soma, particularly the Tarpa Kapha. It is the main aspect that governs the flow of Soma into the brain, which brings the harmony and well-being to the brain and the nervous system. And this is where we come into something extremely important today. Over the last few centuries, we have witnessed such a powerful change of technology in human society. And this is also gradually changing the nervous system.